we talk about David Peterson on this podcast a lot because I have a weird man crush on him, and you think he's a pretty good pitcher as well. But the ERA is now down to 2.85, and something you mentioned as well in our chat. I don't want to steal your thunder is, but the whip has come down as well. So those are obviously huge signs for David Peterson, for a guy who has he can have control issues every now and then. But really, these last two outings against uh, the Orioles and this one against the Padres, he's really been locked in on the mound.
Yeah, two good ball clubs, two good offensive ball clubs as well. So very impressed. Whip has come down. And I was watching his outing, and it just feels to me that his fastball is like heavy. It's um, not overpowering, so to speak, but hitters just don't seem to barrel it up. Even if you think they made a good swing, it's a fly out and it's not getting close to the wall. So maybe it throws that, like they say, that heavy bowling ball type of fastball. Obviously, with his length, same with Shamanaya, it gets to hitters quickly. So I think he found uh, a recipe with his pitches, for a good way to not maybe strike out the world, but just get soft contact. Gets a lot of ground balls over the last two outings. I mean, that's just two strikeouts in this outing. So even when his strikeout stuff isn't on, he still gets soft contact, and I think it helps him a lot. I think I don't know the strikeouts per nine innings on the top of my head, but I won't bet it's that high. But still, he's been very effective. So not only David Peterson can pitch around jams, which he has done probably earlier in the year, limit the damage, but he also shows that he can have his dominance in his way right now. And kudos to the Mets pitching gurus over there, because I truly believe that right now we saw a different David Peterson than we saw in the first couple of years. And maybe not the sexiest in the way of pitching, but I have a soft spot for lefties who get their outs a different way. So I'm definitely not mad at that. But I think the most people like strikeouts over maybe ground balls or something like that. But I think I do wonder, by the way, when I'm talking about this, is how his average exit velocity against him is. I can look that up after, no worries. But that just popped up my mind, because I do think I see a lot of soft contact, but sometimes good to know if that is also true.
Yeah, I think you make an interesting point there about the soft contact and whatnot, because the last two seasons, 22, 23, the talk was David Peterson striking out guys a lot more. And obviously, beginning of last year was not a great start for David Peterson. He did come back in the latter part of the season and pitched pretty well, but I'd be curious to go look at uh, the stat lines from those last couple of outings in September to see if there were maybe more outs on the ground or in the air rather than striking guys out. Because obviously the K per nine is probably down a couple ticks from last year to last 2 years.